Planetary health connects human-induced disruptions on the Earth's natural systems to the impacts on personal health. It acknowledges how the impacts of global environmental changes such as pollution, climate change, or biodiversity loss can shape the future of humanity and our social, political, and economic systems. Co-benefits are the positive effects which a policy aimed at a particular objective may end up having on another objective. In the context of planetary health, it may be seen as how climate change mitigation initiatives can also advance other policy goals, whilst also leading to improvements in health. So what exactly is a healthy person? According to a definition from the World Health Organization, health can be viewed as the presence or absence of disease or medically measured risk factors in an individual. A surface-level example of healthy may be someone who exercises regularly, eats wholesome foods, is happy, and does not consume harmful substances. Boyden describes a list of all-encompassing human needs in relation to health, covering both physical and psychosocial needs. He places emphasis on living in a clean environment and consuming a nutritional diet, as well as being surrounded by a substantial emotional support network, and living in an environment which promotes purpose and belonging. Whilst human health may have significantly improved in the past century, according to the increase in the average life expectancy, so have other climate-related factors. According to the two graphs on the right, in the past 60 or so odd years, we have experienced a significant rise in global emissions and temperatures. Our lives may be longer, but are they actually better? As a case study, the Hong Kong region is a dense, highly developed metropolitan coastal area. Due to its geographical features of over 260 islands and heavily mountainous terrain, Hong Kong's population has had limited land available for development and settling. As of 2023, its population is currently sitting at 7.5 million people on as little as 1,000 kilometres squared of land. The constraints of the city have made air pollution and the urban heat island effect a threat to the health of residents. The heat island effect is a known result of urbanization, occurring when high-density built environments absorb and trap solar radiation, made worse by a lack of urban green spaces. Whilst pollutant levels in Hong Kong have been decreasing, this right graph shows it's still sitting significantly above the recommended air quality guidelines. High-density living compacted into a quarter of the available land may impose physical and physiological constraints on human health. The lack of appropriate urban green spaces arises from poor urban design, most locations within Hong Kong profiled by their dense structures. Frustrations from unsatisfactory environmental conditions are likely to cause stress, which if persistent can lead to maladjustment. A study by S. Miller analysed the maladaptive outcomes associated with high-density living within Hong Kong. The feeling of being crowded for those with a lower density tolerance meant that they were more likely to experience negative emotional states and psychosocial limits. This further exacerbated by a lack of privacy, leading to maladaptive behaviours like reduced life satisfaction. The study of maladaptive outcomes mentions ways of adapting to living in high-density environments by seeking escapes into open spaces with access to natural light, views, and greenery. The government within Hong Kong has considered the growing health risks emerging from high urban density and has established the Greening, Landscape and Tree Management section in 2010 to champion a new and strategic policy. Through developing better facilities and upgrading parks, the Hong Kong government is aiming to cultivate community greenery networks and promote a sustainable built environment. The overarching goal is to suppress the urban heat island effect, improve air quality, enhance urban biodiversity, improve scenic quality and quality of life, upgrading the health status of citizens. Vegetation can affect the surrounding air temperature, sun exposure onto pedestrians, and increase evapotranspiration, helping to mitigate thermal loads. It is estimated that urban green spaces can prevent a third of premature heat deaths, with every 100 metres squared of vegetation reducing air temperature by 1 degree. The graphs show the large difference in temperature at night between an urban station and a rural station. Green spaces are considered the lungs of cities, playing a key role in carbon sequestration and pollution. A study recruited a cohort of elderly citizens within Hong Kong who were monitored for 2 years. Amongst them, significant protective effects against acute respiratory illnesses were observed with increased exposure to green spaces. These findings helped highlight potential health benefits. Green spaces provide visual stimulation, providing psychological benefits for human health associated with feelings of comfort, which in turn lower blood pressure, heart rate, and stress. They assist in promoting active aging relevant to Hong Kong's aging population by providing areas for recreation and interaction. Research shows that characteristics within a neighbourhood impact the satisfaction of residents dwelling there. Yet the City of Hong Kong faces challenges in successfully improving urban green spaces. With extensive areas covered by buildings or roads, plantable areas are often sealed by asphalt, whilst continuing developments widely damage existing trees. A limited canopy, dominated by functional requirements such as flyovers, further compete with existing trees for overhead growing space. Many roadside trees must be pruned heavily and regularly to avoid nearby structures, the harsh treatment promoting weak and hazardous growth. Roadside trees are often trapped in tiny pots in areas with excessive hard paving or low-quality urban soils, causing collapse and damage. The horticultural industry is poorly developed and managed trees are taken care of without appropriate techniques. Another challenge that arises is policy integration. There is a lack of coordination and disorganisation between involved departments, as well as a long-term landscape plan. The public sector's knowledge of the issue is basic, and other social and economic issues are prioritised, meaning that good environmental and life quality is not perceived in governance. The exact benefits of urban greening, such as improvement of mental health, are difficult to gather. The slow process of growing greenery and few cities, if any at all, can claim to have successfully and systemically devoted resources to use urban green spaces as a public health solution. The quantitative and qualitative attributes of how green spaces influence health responses are still poorly understood. With the city of Hong Kong being such a complex built environment, urban green spaces are a necessary feature for health and resilience. The concept of a co-benefits approach helps reconstruct the health and well-being of Hong Kong citizens by targeting the root cause of urban heat, poor air quality, and increased stresses. Unfortunately, there are challenges that arise due to the implementation of policy or management. Whilst the method of co-benefits through using urban green spaces to improve health certainly is beneficial, there are many hurdles to overcome before it can be considered. Taking care of human health and well-being is certainly not a straightforward answer, and the co-benefits approach aims for systemic interventions that generate multiple positive outcomes.